Commander Octavia Walsh gripped the arms of her command chair as the Thunderchild shuddered under another barrage. Warning lights bathed the bridge in crimson, and the ship's AI reported damage to the port thrusters in its unnervingly calm voice. "Tactical assessment," Octavia demanded, brushing a lock of auburn hair from her sweat-slicked forehead. Lieutenant Rodriguez wiped blood from a cut above his eyebrow. "3 Morphid destroyers, Commander. They came out of nowhere. Shields at 32% and falling. And the unknown vessel? Still caught in the gravity well, same as us. They're taking heavy fire." Octavia studied the sleek silver ship on the view screen. Its elegant curves and crystalline propulsion array marked it as nothing in the Earth Alliance database. First contact during an ambush, just her luck. "Open a channel," she ordered. The alien vessel's captain appeared on screen, tall and slender with iridescent skin that shifted between deep blue and violet. 4-pupiled eyes narrowed in suspicion. "This is Commander Octavia Walsh of the Earth Alliance vessel Thunderchild. We're both caught in this trap. I propose we coordinate our defense." The alien's translator produced a melodic voice. "I am Captain Nix Ala of the Tralaxian Starweaver. We do not collaborate with unknown species, especially ones with your ... reputation." Octavia's eyebrow arched. "My reputation?" "Humans are known to be unpredictable, dangerous." A massive blast rocked the Thunderchild, throwing Octavia forward. She recovered quickly, a plan already forming. "Captain Nixala, right now the Morphids are the danger. My ship can create a resonance field that will disrupt their targeting systems, but we need to synchronize our shield frequencies. Impossible." "Our technology will be compatible enough," Octavia interrupted. "The Morphids use quantum locking on their weapon systems. Basic physics doesn't care what planet you're from." Rodriguez leaned close. "Commander, synchronizing with unknown tech could overload our remaining shields. Better than being picked." "Apart?" Octavia muttered before addressing Nixala again. "Captain, we have maybe 3 minutes before they breach both our hulls. Make your choice." The Tralaxian's skin darkened with what Octavia guessed was frustration. "Transmit your resonance parameters." For the next 90 seconds, the bridge crew worked frantically alongside their new allies. Through the open channel, Octavia observed. The Tralaxian crew precise, methodical, and clearly alarmed by the humans' improvised approach. "Synchronization complete," Rodriguez announced. "Ready on your mark." Octavia nodded to the screen. "Captain Nixala?" The alien gave a gesture that might have been resignation. "Proceed. Execute." Both ships pulsed with energy, creating a rippling disruption field. The effect was immediate. The Morphid vessel's weapons fire became erratic, missing both ships. "It's working," Rodriguez shouted. "Their targeting systems are scrambled." Octavia didn't celebrate. "Full power to forward batteries. Target the lead destroyer." The Thunderchild's remaining weapons unleashed concentrated fire, joined moments later by the Starweaver's crystalline energy beams. The combined assault tore through the Morphid vessel's hull. "One down," Octavia muttered. 2 to a blinding flash filled the view screen as one of the remaining Morphid ships detonated its core, the shockwaves slamming into both allied vessels with devastating force. When Octavia regained consciousness, the bridge was in chaos. Emergency systems barely functioning, crew wounded, and the view screen showing only static. "Status report," she croaked. "Both our ships are crippled, Commander," Rodriguez replied, helping another officer to an emergency medical station. "We're trapped in the gravity well of the gas giant. The good news? We destroyed the Morphid attackers. And the bad news? We're stranded in Morphid-controlled space with strangers who think we're dangerous lunatics." Octavia managed a pained smile. "Then we'll have to show Captain Nixala that sometimes a little lunacy is exactly what you need to survive." As if on cue, The communication system crackled to life with the Tralaxian captain's voice. "Commander Walsh, it seems we have much to discuss, and apparently considerable repairs to coordinate." Octavia straightened in her chair, ignoring the pain lancing through her ribs. "Captain Nixala, I believe this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." The Tralaxian's response came after a pause. "Let us hope your optimism is not another example of human insanity." Unlikely allies, the engineering bay of the Thunderchild buzzed with activity as human and Tralaxian crews worked side by side, their initial wariness giving way to reluctant cooperation. Chief Engineer Vothmer of the Starweaver moved with deliberate precision, his four-pupiled eyes constantly scanning the unfamiliar human technology. "Your power distribution systems are remarkably inefficient," he remarked to no one in particular, his iridescent skin shifting to a troubled green hue. "But effective," came a voice from behind him. Erica Donovan, the Thunderchild's communications specialist, approached with a toolkit slung over her shoulder. Her dark curls were pulled back in a practical knot, and her uniform bore scorch marks from earlier repairs. Sometimes the simplest solution works better than the elegant one. Vothmer's skin rippled with what might have been amusement, a very human philosophy. "Is that an insult or a compliment?" Erica asked, kneeling beside him to examine the junction box. "An observation." Vothmer hesitated. "Your species has a certain reputation among the Tralaxian conclave." Erica grinned. "Let me guess? Reckless? Unpredictable? Dangerously creative?" "All accurate terms." His tone softened. "Yet you achieved faster than light travel, a millennium before our scientists predicted possible for your developmental stage." "We get impatient." Erica shrugged, connecting power couplings with practiced ease. "Waiting for the right time isn't really our thing." Meanwhile, on the bridge of the Starweaver, Commander Octavia Walsh and Captain Nixala reviewed damage reports with matching expressions of concern. "The Morphid Patrol will have sent a distress signal before we destroyed them," Nixala stated. "Their reinforcements will arrive within 72 hours. Octavia nodded, studying the star chart. "And our ships need at least 5 days for minimum repairs. Then we face annihilation." Nixala's skin darkened to a deep indigo. "Unless we abandon one vessel and combine crews on the most salvageable ship." "Not an option," Octavia replied firmly. "We'll need both ships if we're going to fight our way out." Nixala's head tilted in what Octavia had come to recognize as disbelief. Fight? Against a Morphid response fleet? Or lead them into a trap? Octavia's fingers traced a path through the nearby asteroid field. "There's a dense nebula here, perfect for an ambush." "You truly are as your reputation suggests, Commander Walsh." Octavia smiled. "Take it as a compliment, Captain." Back in engineering, an alarm blared as oxygen levels suddenly dropped. A coolant pipe had ruptured, releasing toxic gas into the compartment. "Evacuate!" Vothmer shouted, his skin paling to white as he moved toward the exit. He turned to see Erica running in the opposite direction, toward the damaged pipe. "What are you doing?" he called, horrified. "Manual override." She shouted back, already coughing as she reached the emergency control panel. Vothmer hesitated, only a moment before following her. The gas burned his respiratory membranes, but he watched in disbelief as Erica bypassed the safety protocols and physically wrenched the valve shut with a wrench, stopping the leak. She collapsed as the air thinned further. Without thinking, Vothmer lifted her and rushed toward the exit, his longer limbs carrying them both to safety seconds before the automatic bulkhead sealed. In the corridor, medical teams rushed to assist. Erica regained consciousness as a breathing mask was placed over her face, her eyes immediately finding Vothmer. "Thanks for the save," she whispered hoarsely. "You risked death to save the ship," he replied, confusion evident in his voice. "Worth it," she managed a weak smile. "Besides, calculated risk is different from suicide. The calculation I observed included a 93% chance of fatal outcome." Erica's smile widened. "Then I beat the odds." Later that evening, as repair crews continued their work, Octavia found herself sharing a meal with Nixala in the Thunderchild's mess hall. The Tralaxian captain cautiously sampled synthesized human food. "Your engineer endangered herself today," Nixala observed. "Yet you didn't punish this recklessness." "Erica saved both our ships," Octavia replied. "That deserves commendation, not punishment. My engineer Vathmur seems fascinated by her. He has requested to continue working alongside your crew." Octavia hid her smile behind her coffee cup. "Cultural exchange is always valuable. Is that what you call it?" Nixala's skin shimmered with subtle bands of color that Octavia was beginning to recognize as amusement. Perhaps there is something to be learned from human impetuosity after all. Their eyes met across the table, a moment of understanding passing between them. "To unlikely allies," Octavia said, raising her cup. Nixala mirrored the gesture with elegant precision. "And to defying the odds." As the ships hung in the shadow of the gas giant, temporary peace settled over the two crews. But on the distant horizon, Morphid vessels were already changing course, hunting for the destroyers that had gone silent. "They're coming," Erica announced, her fingers dancing across the communications console. Long-range scans show a Morphid battle group 7 destroyers and a dreadnought. The makeshift war room fell silent. For 4 days, the crews of both ships had worked relentlessly on repairs, forging an unexpected camaraderie through shared purpose and mutual respect. Vathmur's skin paled as he processed the scan data. The dreadnought alone outguns both our vessels combined, even at full capacity, which we are not. "We can't outrun them," Rodriguez confirmed. "Not with our engines in this state." Captain Nixala turned to Octavia. "It seems our time together draws to a close, Commander. We should prepare for the inevitable." Octavia studied the tactical display, her expression hardening into determination. Not inevitable. Not yet. She zoomed in on the Morphid formation. "The dreadnought is their coordination hub, right?" "Correct," Nixala replied. "The lesser vessels operate as extensions of the central command structure. Then we take out the head, and the body falls." Octavia's eyes gleamed with the spark that her crew had come to recognize as dangerous inspiration. "We need to get aboard that dreadnought." The Tralaxians exchanged looks of alarm. Vathmur was the first to speak. "You propose to infiltrate the command vessel of a species that considers all non-Morphid life disposable?" His skin rippled with disbelief. "Even for humans, this exceeds rational calculation." Erica stepped closer to him, her expression earnest. "That's exactly why it might work. They'll never expect it." "Because it is suicide," Nixala stated flatly. Octavia shook her head. "Not with the right team and the right distraction." She pulled up schematics of similar Morphid vessels encountered in previous engagements. "A Thunderchild will engage the escort ships, drawing attention, while a small team boards the dreadnought through their ventral maintenance hatches." "And how do you propose to reach these hatches without being vaporized?" Nixala challenged. Octavia's smile was razor-sharp. "That's where the Starweaver comes in. Your crystalline propulsion system, it has a unique energy signature, doesn't it?" Vathmur's eyes widened. "It resonates with certain frequencies in the quantum spectrum. Theoretically, it could mask a small craft from Morphid sensors." His skin brightened with reluctant admiration. "Ingenious." "I'll lead the boarding party," Octavia stated. "No," Nixala countered immediately. "You're needed to command the Thunderchild. I will lead the infiltration team." Their eyes locked in silent challenge. neither willing to back down until Erica cleared her throat. "With respect to both commanders, I should go," she said. "I've studied Morphid communication patterns for years. I can navigate their systems, plant the disruptive virus, and get out." "Not alone," Vothmer said, surprising everyone, including himself. "You'll need someone who understands quantum resonance to maintain your sensor cloak." His skin flushed with determination. "I volunteer." Later, as preparations were finalized, Octavia found Nixala on the observation deck, staring out at the looming gas giant. "Your people truly are remarkable," the Tralaxian captain said without turning. "We would have accepted defeat. You transform it into an opportunity." Octavia joined her at the viewport. "It's not that we don't understand the odds. We just refuse to be limited by them." A curious philosophy. Nixala's skin shimmered with complex patterns. "Perhaps even an admirable one. Coming from you, I'll take that as high praise." Octavia hesitated, then added, "If this works, it could change everything between our species. And if it fails, then we gave it one hell of a shot." Octavia extended her hand, a human gesture of solidarity, not after a moment's hesitation. Nixala's elegant fingers intertwined with Octavia's. The touch sent an unexpected warmth through both commanders. "For the record," Octavia said softly, "I'm glad it was your ship we encountered." Nixala's skin glowed with a gentle luminescence. "As am I, Commander Walsh. As am I." In the shuttle bay, Erica checked her equipment one final time as Vothmer programmed the infiltration craft. "Scared?" she asked, noticing the rapid color changes rippling across his skin. "Terrified," he admitted. "Yet strangely exhilarated," Erica grinned. "Welcome to the human condition." She placed her hand on his arm, feeling the smooth texture of his skin. "We'll make it back." Such certainty, Vothmer marveled. "Is it genuine, or simply what humans tell themselves before charging into danger?" "Both," Erica replied honestly. "Fear keeps you sharp. Hope keeps you moving forward." As the Morphid fleet drew ever closer, two vessels prepared for battle, while a small shuttle readied for a mission impossible. The future of two species now rested on what the Tralaxians had once dismissed as human madness. Heart of the enemy, the infiltration shuttle slipped through space like a ghost, its modified hull absorbing Morphid scanning frequencies. Inside, Erica and Vothmer worked in tense silence, their earlier bravado replaced by focused concentration. "Approaching. Ventral access point," Vothmer whispered unnecessarily, his skin pulsing with anxiety. "Synchronizing our entry with the Thunderchild's attack." Erica checked her tactical display. "Octavia and Nixala are in position. They'll begin their run in 30 seconds. Across the void, the Thunderchild powered up its remaining weapon systems. On its bridge, Octavia exchanged a final nod with Nixala, who had insisted on joining the human vessel for the combat maneuver they'd spent days planning. "All hands, battle stations," Octavia commanded. "Execute attack pattern Walsh 7. The Thunderchild burst from hiding, weapons blazing as it charged directly at the Morphid escort vessels. Simultaneously, the Starweaver, operated by a skeleton crew, emerged from the opposite side of the gas giant, its crystalline arrays generating a dazzling light show that confused Morphid sensors. "Their formation is breaking," Rodriguez reported, grinning fiercely. "The diversion is working." "Maintain course," Octavia ordered, her knuckles white on the armrests. "Keep their attention for as long as possible." Beside her, Nixala monitored the encrypted channel to the infiltration team. "They're in," she announced, her normally composed voice tinged with relief. Erica and Vothmer crept through the dimly lit maintenance ducts of the Morphid dreadnought. The ship's interior was humid and acrid, designed for the insectoid Morphids rather than humanoid life forms. "Central data node should be 2 levels down," Erica whispered, consulting her scanner. We need to. A sudden chittering sound froze. Them both. A Morphid maintenance drone skittered around the corner, its compound eyes reflecting the dim emergency lighting. Before Erica could reach for her weapon, Vothmer's hand shot out, pressing a small device against the drone's thorax. It convulsed once, then collapsed. Neural disruptor, he explained at Erica's surprised expression. Designed specifically for Morphid nervous systems. Nice trick, she said with genuine admiration. You Tralaxians are full of surprises. A recent adaptation, Vothmer admitted, his skin flushing with a color Erica had come to recognize as pleasure, inspired by human tactical flexibility. They continued their descent, eventually reaching a vast chamber pulsing with biomechanical interfaces, the heart of the Morphid command structure. Cover me, Erica whispered, kneeling before the central node and connecting her modified decoder. This will take approximately 4 minutes. We may not have 4 minutes, Vothmer replied tensely, his scanner showing movement in nearby corridors. Multiple hostiles approaching. Back on the Thunderchild, the situation was deteriorating rapidly. The ship shuddered under concentrated Morphid fire, its shields failing section by section. Port stabilizers offline, Rodriguez reported grimly. Hull breach on Deck 7. Nixala turned to Octavia, her skin darkened with concern. We cannot sustain this assault much longer. We hold, Octavia replied, blood trickling from a cut on her temple. They need more time. A massive blast rocked the bridge, sending crew. Members sprawling. Warning klaxons blared as the primary power grid failed. Auxiliary power only, Rodriguez called out. One more hit like that, and we're finished. Nixala studied Octavia's determined expression with newfound understanding. You knew this was a one-way mission for the Thunderchild. I knew it was a possibility, Octavia admitted. But the mission comes first. Our people come first. Before Nixala could respond, the tactical officer shouted, Commander! 3 Morphid destroyers, breaking formation, on intercept course with the infiltration point. They've detected the shuttle, Nixala realized with horror. Octavia's expression hardened. Helm set collision course with the lead destroyer. Maximum speed. Commander? Rodriguez questioned, shocked. Do it. Octavia stood, her resolve unshakable. Captain Nixala, you should return to the Starweaver. I will not abandon this crew, the Tralaxian replied firmly. Their eyes met in a moment of perfect understanding. Octavia's hand found Nixala's, their fingers intertwining. Then we make this count, Octavia said softly inside the Morphid dreadnought. Erica worked frantically as Vothmer defended their position against increasing waves of security drones. Almost there, she called, fingers flying across the interface. 60 more seconds. We don't have 60 seconds, Vothmer replied, his disruptor overheating from constant use. We're about to be overrun. Erica's eyes never left her screen. Then we improvise. She yanked a secondary device from her pack and slammed it against the node, modified version of the virus. Less elegant, but faster. Will it work? Maybe 70% chance. She grinned despite the danger. Better odds than we started with. The node pulsed erratically, then glowed bright red as the virus took hold. Throughout the massive dreadnought, systems began to fail as the command structure collapsed. Time to go, Erica said, grabbing Vothmer's arm. Different way out. Follow. And me. They raced through increasingly chaotic corridors as confused Morphids struggled to respond to the system-wide failure. Reaching an external hatch, Erica sealed her emergency suit and handed Vothmer a matching one. What is this? He demanded. Our exit strategy. She punched the emergency release. Sometimes the fastest way out is the direct approach. The vacuum. of space pulled them out into the void, away from the dreadnought and into the chaos of the battle beyond. What burns brightest? The void of space embraced Erica and Vothmer as they tumbled away from the Morphid dreadnought, their emergency suits providing minimal protection against the vacuum. Through her helmet's display, Erica watched the massive ship's systems fail section by section, lights flickering and engines sputtering. "It's working," she transmitted to Vothmer. "The command structure is collapsing." The Tralaxian's response was tense. "Yes, but our situation remains precarious." He activated his suit's locator beacon. "The Starweaver should detect our signal." But his words cut off as they both witnessed the Thunderchild streak across space like a missile, smashing into one of the Morphid destroyers in a blinding explosion that consumed both ships. "No!" Erica's cry echoed in her helmet. "Octavia... Vothmer's hand found hers, their suits touching as they drifted. "She chose this," he said softly. "A sacrifice to protect the mission. To protect us." Tears floated in Erica's helmet as the reality sank in. "What about the Starweaver?" The answer came in the form of a crystalline flash as the Tralaxian vessel emerged from behind the gas giant's largest moon, moving to intercept their position. But behind it, the remaining Morphid vessels were regrouping, their individual intelligence taking over as the dreadnought's control faltered. "The Morphid Admiral lives," Vothmer observed, pointing to a shuttle launching from the dreadnought. "That vessel contains their commander. I recognize the markings." Erica's grief hardened into determination. "Then we're not done yet." The Starweaver's tractor beam caught them, pulling them toward its airlock as the Morphid ships began a pursuit. Pattern. Inside the Tralaxian vessel, they were met by a skeleton crew operating on emergency protocols. Captain Nixala? Vothmer questioned as they removed their helmets. The acting officer's skin darkened with sorrow. She remained aboard the human vessel. Erica leaned against the bulkhead, processing this additional loss. "They gave everything so we could succeed." "And we have not yet succeeded," Vothmer reminded her gently. "The Morphid Admiral escaped the dreadnought. If he reaches another command vessel, our advantage disappears." Determination replaced grief in Erica's eyes. "Then we finish this, for Octavia, for Nix Allah." They rushed to the bridge, where Erica took the weapon station while Vothmer analyzed the tactical display. "The Admiral's shuttle is making for the Sing outer system," he reported. "Our engines are damaged, but we could intercept if we push beyond safety parameters." "Do it," Erica ordered, then caught herself. "I mean, I'm not in command here." The Tralaxian crew exchanged glances, then the acting officer's skin rippled with decision. "The human strategy has brought us this far. Continue." Vothmer programmed the intercept course, while Erica prepared the weapon systems. The Starweaver lurched forward, crystalline drives glowing dangerously bright as they pursued the Morphid shuttle. "We're within weapons range," Erica announced minutes later. "But our targeting systems are damaged." "I can't get a lock." Vothmer moved to her station, his fingers brushing hers as he adjusted the controls. "Perhaps we can synchronize, as our ships did before." "Your instinct, my precision." Their eyes met, an unspoken connection flowing between them. Erica nodded, and together they guided the targeting system, her hands over his as they tracked the erratic movements of the Morphid shuttle. "Now," they said in unison, and the Starweaver's main cannon fired. The energy beam struck the shuttle's engine section, sending it spinning into the orbit of a nearby moon. But it didn't explode instead. It made a controlled crash, landing on the rocky surface. "He survived," Vothmer said, disbelief coloring his voice. Erica was already moving toward the armory. "Then we finish this personally." Minutes later, a Tralaxian landing craft touched down on the desolate moon, disgorging Erica, Vothmer, and 4 Trolaxian security officers. The crashed Morphid shuttle lay 100 meters away, its hull breached, but intact enough to have preserved life within. Approach with caution, Vothmer advised. Morphid admirals are enhanced beyond their normal soldiers. Stronger, faster, more intelligent. And more desperate, Erica added, checking her weapon. He's cornered now. They had almost reached the shuttle when its hatch exploded outward. The Morphid admiral emerged larger than ordinary drones, with armored chitin and gleaming compound eyes that reflected the starlight. Lesser species, the admiral's translator broadcast, its mandibles clicking with contempt. You believe you have won. Your victory is temporary. The Morphid collective is endless. Not today, Erica replied, raising her weapon. The admiral moved, with shocking speed, knocking aside 2 Trolaxian officers before anyone could react. Erica fired, but the shots glanced off the admiral's armored carapace. It rounded on her, mandibles spread wide. Vothmer threw himself between them, firing his disruptor directly into the admiral's thorax. The Morphid staggered, but didn't fall. Grabbing Vothmer and hurling him against the shuttle hull, Erica charged forward, discarding her ineffective weapon and drawing a combat knife. The admiral's compound eyes tracked her movement, but something in her expression, a human fury that transcended rational calculation, seemed to give it pause. For Octavia, she whispered, and drove the knife into a joint between armored plates. Admiral screeched, grasping at her with clawed appendages. Erica twisted the blade deeper, even as the Morphid's strength began to crush her ribs. Blood filled her mouth, but she refused to release her grip. Vothmer recovered, staggering to his feet. Seeing Erica in the admiral's deadly embrace, his skin flashed with colors no Trolaxian had ever displayed in battle, the colors of their deepest emotional states, normally reserved for intimate bonds. The irrational fire, one of the officers whispered in awe. Vothmer seized a fallen weapon and approached from behind, pressing it against the admiral's central nerve cluster. Release her, he demanded, his voice steady despite the emotional. Colors cascading across his skin, the admiral froze, sensing the weapon's position. You would die for this human? It questioned, mandibles clicking in confusion. Without hesitation, Vothmer replied. The Morphid's grip loosened slightly, enough for Erica to twist free, gasping for breath. The admiral turned to face Vothmer, its compound eyes reflecting the Trolaxian's emotional display. Fascinating, it chittered. Such connection between different species. Inefficient, illogical. But powerful, Erica said, wiping blood from her mouth as she steadied herself. More powerful than your hive mind could ever understand. The admiral's head swiveled between them, calculating its options. Before it could move, both Erica and Vothmer fired simultaneously, their combined attack finally penetrating the armored carapace. The admiral collapsed, its limbs twitching in death throes in the aftermath. As they returned to the Starweaver, Erica's injuries were treated in the medical bay. Vothmer remained by her side, his skin still showing traces of the emotional colors that had appeared during the battle. Your people displayed what we call the irrational fire, he explained when she asked about the crew's reactions. It is considered the deepest expression of connection, typically reserved for life mates. Erica smiled despite her pain. So I literally saw your true colors, indeed. His skin flushed with embarrassment. It is not something we control. I like that, she said softly, her hand finding his. Something even logical Trolaxians can't rationalize away. 3 days later, as the repaired Starweaver prepared to return to Trolaxian space, a memorial service was held for the fallen crews of both ships. Erica stood beside Vothmer, wearing a borrowed Trolaxian uniform adapted to human physiology. The Alliance will want to establish formal diplomatic relations, she said, watching the stars through the observation deck window. This changes everything between our species. For the better, I believe, Vothmer replied, his hand tentatively entwined with hers, the gesture still new, but increasingly natural. What humans call madness, we may come to recognize as your greatest strength. And what Tralaxians call the irrational fire, Erica responded, might be what burns brightest in the darkness of space. As the Star Weaver set course for home, carrying both Tralaxian and human survivors, a new chapter began in Galactic History 1, written in the language of unlikely alliances, improbable victories, and the inexplicable connections that form. Even between the most different of species, on distant worlds, the story would be told of how human recklessness and Tralaxian precision combined to achieve the impossible, of how Commander Octavia Walsh and Captain Nixala sacrificed everything to forge a path forward, and of how Erica Donovan and Vothmer discovered that what some called madness, others might call love, the ultimate defiance against the void.